Welcome to Escape to the Country. Today we're in a town that's not only home to this gorgeous minster behind me, but was once also home to one of Britain's most famous and controversial poets. But where are we? Well, join me in just a few moments and I'll tell you. Today's mission, to move from the busy big smoke into the calm of the country, leaves our buyer almost lost for words.
I'm bowled over. I'm not for six. I can't speak.
And before long, emotions become overwhelming.
You've just found such a wonderful house. I am going to cry.
It's okay, it's okay. Well, today we're in Nottinghamshire and we're starting in the pretty Georgian market town of Southwell. Now, not only is it famous for this lovely 12th century minster behind me, but it was also home to none other than Lord Byron, one of our most famous poets, a man described as mad, bad and dangerous to know. Now, he lived here during his teenage years, but wrote of it afterwards, "I have never been so happy as I was in Old Southwell." High praise indeed from one of the country's most famous poets. Lying in the East Midlands, Nottinghamshire borders 4 counties and is the gateway to Yorkshire in the north and Lincolnshire to the east. Despite being one of the most landlocked counties in England, the water isn't too far away, as the mighty River Trent that runs from north to south should quench any nautical desires and flows right through the city of Nottingham. The city centre boasts the UK's largest surviving town square, as well as many Victorian buildings by the once local leading architect Watson Fothergill, whose distinctive Gothic revival style designs are particularly striking. Quieter pockets can be found in pretty peaceful villages such as Linby, which has been recognised as one of the county's best kept places to live. One of the most famous residents, though, must be the infamous folk hero Robin Hood. And it's said that Hood lived in the depths of Sherwood Forest, which is now a 450-acre national reserve and home to many ancient trees who have preserved the secrets of this mystical woodland for centuries. Now, given Nottinghamshire's relatively close proximity to London, you might think that house prices here could be prohibitive, but the good news is they're not. To put it in context, over in neighbouring Leicestershire, your average 4-bedroom detached could cost you £225,000, but here in Nottinghamshire, the same thing could cost you just £182,000. Now, as with any county, of course, there are variations. Rushcliffe Central and West Bridgford do command a premium here, but if value for money is your thing, well, why not head north up towards Sherwood? You may be surprised at what you can find. And let's hope there's plenty on offer to tempt retiree Susan, who's drafted in our help this week. She lives in a small 2-bedroom semi-detached house right next to the Thames in London's Docklands. But since calling time on her career last year, she's decided to turn her back on the city too.
I moved down to London nearly 40 years ago to start teaching, and I've been teaching here ever since. Because I've always worked in London, I've not been able to afford the sort of property that I would really like to live in, and now I'm looking forward to upsizing and having this sort of space that I've always wanted.
Susan may want to increase her square footage, but she definitely wants to cut back on the chaos that comes with city living.
I'm getting a little bit tired of the hustle and bustle of London, waiting for tubes, waiting for buses, being squashed on tubes. I want to escape the crowds and live in a rural community and a village community where the pace of life is much slower. I have friends and relations in Nottinghamshire, and it's not far from Yorkshire, where I have very many friends because that's where I went to college.
She may want a more leisurely lifestyle, but she's not planning to slow down.
I would like to live in a village that's got a thriving community where I could join in with lots of local events. If the village has a WI, I would like to join that, and I would like to grow my own vegetables.
Besides learning new skills, the key to this move is having more space to play host.
I like entertaining, and I'm looking forward to having a house that's bigger so that I can do more entertaining. I love having friends round to eat, gossip, and then to go out and shop.
With socialising high on the agenda, this gregarious city slicker isn't going it alone, and she's roped in her close friend Leslie for support.
Leslie and I have known each other for 45 years. We've always been in each other's lives. She's the person that I turn to for advice. She can see possibilities where I can't.
I see my role as helping to keep Susan's feet on the ground, because I know what she'll do. She'll go to houses, fall in love with the house, and not be terribly practical about what it's going to be like to live there. That's true, isn't it?
That's very true. The core of the home is going to be my kitchen. Now, I would really like a big kitchen that's big enough for a table and a sofa. If I had a little window seat somewhere, that would be terrific.
But you can make a window. This is the thing. Susan would buy a house because it had a window seat in it, right? Whereas I would say to her, no, buy this house and put a window seat in it. She showed me one last night and said, this is a lovely house. Look, it's got a wishing well in the garden. And what's the kitchen like?
Let's hope we can make Susan's wishes come true, with or without a well, but not before we've discussed the finances for this London to Nottinghamshire relocation.
The budget for this move is £330,000.
Good public transport links are essential for sociable Susan, so we'll be searching for properties in and around half an hour from the market town of Newark-on-Trent, which has great train connections back to London and throughout the country. Time for me to meet up with our buyer and her friend Leslie to get better acquainted and finalise the details of Susan's impending move. Well, Susan, Leslie, welcome to Escape to the Country. Let's face it, when we talk about moving from the city, you are literally moving from the city of London.
I am indeed, yes.
In the shadow of Canary Wharf.
Yep, not for much longer, though.
Not for much longer. Well, the good news is you've sold.
I have indeed,
You've
yes.
got cash in your pocket.
Contract, yes.
Yeah. And, more excitingly for us, you're upsizing.
I am.
Now, Leslie, of course, is joining you this week. You are old friends. You've known each other since your teens, haven't you?
We have, yes.
And I know that incorporating space for family and friends to visit is important to you, not least, of course, somewhere for Leslie to come and visit you.
Yes, I'm interested in the spare room, yes.
Now, we've already got a rough idea of what you're looking for, but just paint a picture of your wish list.
Well, I haven't got a set idea about what I want, but I'd like at least 3 bedrooms, obviously a big kitchen living space.
Yeah. Everybody says they want a big kitchen, but
They do.
But for you, this is going to be a genuine treat, isn't it?
It is. It is going to be something that I haven't had, and I'm so looking forward to having a big table, maybe a sofa, just somewhere where I can live, actually. I don't mind about the lounge, because that can just be for, you know, the odd occasion.
And in terms of its age, are we looking for character? Are we looking for modern?
Character. Definitely character, nothing too modern, please.
So, Leslie, how easy is it going to be, do you think, to satisfy all of these wishes?
Well, I have a feeling it's not going to be too difficult. I think that you could take Susan into a house with a range cooker and a big kitchen and she'll just want to buy it. And I'm here to play devil's advocate, really.
Well, my role is to try and relieve you of £330,000 and to show you, I hope, 3 very interesting and viable properties. So let's get going.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for a maximum budget of £330,000, Susan is looking to upsize and is after a character property that has 3 bedrooms to accommodate visiting friends, with a large country kitchen and living area in which to entertain them. Outside, she'd like a manageable garden, and the location should have an active and welcoming community. And we've got some great traditional properties lined up to tempt Susan away from the city. But I won't be revealing the prices until the end of each tour. Then, to top it off, there's the Mystery House, which takes upsizing to a whole new dimension. And with Susan's home under offer, time is seriously of the essence, so let's get this search underway. Your relationship is terrific. It's clearly, you know, very long-standing and very strong. I mean, you're almost like sisters, really, aren't you?
Oh. There are more of us. There are 10 of us in total.
10 old good friends?
Yes.
So when you finally get this new place, then...
They've all got to come and stay.
Well, property number 1 awaits. So let's see if it's all that you hope it's going to be, Susan.
I'm so excited.
Our first destination of this house hunt is about 15 miles southwest of Newark in the small village of Epperstone. Surrounded by fields and woodland, Epperstone is situated within a conservation area where local amenities include a Grade 1 listed church and an inviting country pub. This small village has an attractive mix of architecture, and in an exclusive development within the grounds of an historic manor, we come to our first house. So property number 1, there we are. Come in, see.
It's beautiful.
What do you think?
Really lovely.
The thing we liked about it, Susan, was that given where you're coming from,
Yes.
where obviously you've got neighbours and it's quite secure and it feels very at home, this offers you the same sort of feel, but in a lovely village,
Yes.
Epperstone, which has got loads going on, WI, lots of groups, the church is over there, you know, there's a lot of community here for you to get involved with, and something with a bit of character about
It certainly has.
Come on, let's have a look inside and see what you think. Right, in you come. Let's start with the living room. Whole thing is open plan, as you can see.
Oh, it's lovely.
Very nice.
And it's
Yes.
exactly what I asked for, isn't it? Open plan.
Yeah. How does it compare with where you are at the moment in Surrey Quays?
This is much bigger.
This is upsizing.
Oh, this is upsizing.
Good. Okay.
This is upsizing plus.
And very cosy. I think you'd feel very at home and
Yep.
safe here.
Yes.
It's really cosy.
I'm putting myself in here already.
Well, we haven't
Yes.
seen the rest of it yet.
No,
The kitchen
no.
is through here. There.
Oh, it's lovely.
Oh, it's your open plan.
It's open.
The whole thing.
It's the whole space in one.
I love it.
I mean, in fairness, there isn't a huge range cooker there at the moment, but I think it's a lovely social space
It certainly
in
is.
terms of entertaining and talking to your guests.
No, it's lovely. I love it. I really do.
Yeah?
So do I.
Is she telling the truth, Leslie?
Yes, I am. You'll know, because I might start crying in a minute.
Oh,
You'll
right.
really know.
Well, before Susan starts to sob, we'll finish up the tour of the ground floor that is the added bonus of a large tiled cloakroom. Then, just off the kitchen, the staircase takes us up to the first floor. So what have we got up here, then? Family bathroom. Very nice, again. A good double in there, Sue, which I'm thinking, Leslie, would be you.
Yes, that's my
Yeah.
room, yeah.
Yep.
There's another single there. And so this is your bit, Sue, we're thinking.
Oh, wow. This
Come
is
in,
lovely.
Leslie, look, you're hiding,
this is
Leslie.
lovely, look.
There you go.
I love that, the
fine.
vaulted
So do
ceiling.
I,
That's so
yes.
nice.
You've got loads of built-in storage over there.
Yeah.
And the ensuite behind us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Walk past
With
that.
its own sort of frosted glass.
I know, I was going to say, what's that?
Well, it just lets in a bit more light.
Yes, oh, of course.
I think
it's lovely.
all in all,
Yeah.
this is a really interesting package
It
for
certainly
you.
is, yes.
So, how much do you think it's going to cost you?
Do you want me to guess now?
Not yet. I want you to think about it, but I think we
We'll
should
think
go
about
out
it.
into the garden and get some fresh air
Right.
and
Okay.
consider the sums. Go on, after you. That wraps up what I think has been a very positive reaction to house number 1. All that remains is to check out the veg growing potential in the south-facing garden and to work out the price. Right. Come this way. We might as well sort of finish where we started. What you see is pretty much what you get. But if your green fingers get any greener, the good news is that they're about to open some allotments within
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
the development. And the nice thing there, of course, is you haven't got to go and buy it. So you can have a go, and if you get bored or it becomes too much, you can just give it back. You also get a garage with it. So let's have a think about the price, shall we?
Yes.
You've got £330,000 to spend. Susan,
Yep.
make me an offer.
I hope I can afford it. It better not be more. 329,950.
OK, yep. Leslie?
I think it must be at the top end of the budget as well. But I'm going to go for 325.
325.
5,000 change.
5,000 change. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be nice.
The good news is that that is exactly what it is.
Oh. She won!
This could be yours for 325, yeah.
325.
How about that? I think it's been a really, really good start.
It has.
It's been a great start.
Fabulous.
Right then. Off you go. Go and have another look around, and I'll catch up with you later.
OK?
Brilliant. Well, I have to confess that when it comes to property number 1s in this game, they don't often get much better than this one. On the market for £325,000. The first in our selection is a delightful character cottage that nails Susan's wish list and gives her £5,000 to play with. The property comes with an open-plan living, dining and kitchen area, 3 bedrooms including a master ensuite and a low-maintenance cottage garden.
The size is perfect, the open plan layout is perfect. The master bedroom, the ensuite, the garden, the manor house community development, it's perfect. Probably the only thing that this doesn't have is that farmhousey country kitchen. So I think if you were to take her next to that, I think she'd be in a real quandary, because I know she likes this one.
First impressions, the house is absolutely gorgeous. It's just such a beautiful, light, airy. It's a beautiful space. I love it. I didn't ask for beams. I hadn't even thought about beams, but beams, I love them. I would love to entertain people in this space. I'm very excited thinking about it.
This garden is such a sun trap. I could happily spend all day here, but alas, we can't spend all day here. We've got to go, haven't we? I think we've spoilt you a bit there.
You certainly have.
Yes, follow that.
Well, we've got something to keep up with, haven't we? But it's Escape to the Country. We never let you down. For hundreds of years, Nottinghamshire's rural splendour has been an attractive destination to lay down roots, be that a humble cottage or something more palatial. Nestled into Sherwood Forest in the north of the county are a handful of stately homes named the Dukeries, which once housed some of the country's most well-heeled and wealthy residents. Today, the Grade 1 listed Welbeck Abbey takes pride of place on an estate that's still privately occupied by descendants of the Duke of Portland and is also home to an enterprising community. As Susan is keen to learn new skills when she moves, we sent her and Leslie to meet Development Director Richard Mayo to find out more about the estate's resourceful vision.
So, Susan, Leslie, welcome to the Welbeck Estate in North Nottinghamshire.
Thank you.
A traditional country estate with history and heritage that goes back to the 12th century, when it was a pre-Monstratensian abbey, and has evolved through the centuries.
So what's here? What does the estate consist of?
Approximately 250,000 square feet of historic buildings, including riding school, stable court, and today, with the Welbeck project, we're seeking to transform the estate.
What is the project?
The Welbeck project seeks to find new uses for a fantastic collection of heritage buildings in the East Midlands.
So far, the project has established a wide range of businesses, including a well-stocked farm shop selling many local products with an award-winning butcher's. The former stables have been converted into a charity-run school of artisan food, where both the local community and food enthusiasts are encouraged to learn traditional techniques. And Susan and Leslie are getting stuck into some back-to-basics bread making with David Carter.
So what exactly is artisan food production?
Artisan food production is using traditional skills, traditional methods, and also principally using your hands as well.
Why do you think it's so important to keep these skills alive?
Because we need really to be able to control our food chain. We need to know what's going into our food and try and keep what's going into our food as natural as possible.
To make a batch loaf, a rested dough of malt house flour and ale is shaped and rolled into 4 equal-sized balls.
Great, look at that!
Oh.
The balls are then coated with seeds and put into proofing baskets to support the dough during its second rising before they go into the oven. But the final stage must be the best bit, and that's slicing up the loaf fresh from the oven.
Thank you.
There we go.
Lovely, thank you.
That is perfect.
That's good, isn't it?
So after that hands-on taste of Nottinghamshire, it's high time we got back on the property search. We're venturing right over to the far eastern side of the county for our second property, to the village of Coddington, about 3 miles from Newark. One particularly notable resident of the village was Constant Penswick Smith, whose campaign to revive Mothering Sunday was launched here in Coddington 100 years ago. Today, the village is still home to very active residents, So we're taking a quick pit stop to get some insider knowledge from local Mike Clark, who's lived here for 30 years. Hello, Mike. Hello. I'm Jules. Nice to meet you.
Well, I need to learn about this thing. Gardening, cooking.
The East Midlands, and particularly the Newark area, is very much a centre for sort of their own produce. You're at the junction of sort of rural Lincolnshire, Nottinghamshire, the Vale of Beavers just down the road from the Stilton cheeses, so it all mixes in together here.
Oh.
So there's no excuse for not eating well, then?
No.
No, there isn't, I'm afraid. I took the liberty of bringing along the village newsletter.
Ah, look, what have we got here, then?
You can see, in actual fact, from there, the type of activities. Yes, there is a WI.
There's loads of stuff here. Coffee mornings.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
So I think we should get going. We'll leave you to the rest of your day, sir.
Thank you.
you very much indeed.
Yeah.
And we'll show you property number 2.
Great.
Right then, we're going to go that way. After you, Mike. And in an enviable setting at the heart of the village is our second property, a charming detached cottage believed to date back to 1840. Look at this, eh?
Oh, wow.
Property number 2.
Oh, a wing for me.
Actually, you're quite right. Because that's why I wanted to start with this aspect of it, because it displays this L shape, and it is a wing for you. That is a guest wing.
Wow. That is amazing. I'm bowled over. I'm not for 6. I can't speak. This is huge.
Beautiful house.
It's a much bigger proposition than number 1.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's much more traditional in the sense that you've got more individual rooms.
I like.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we like your bit. We're going to start with
Leslie's
the guest
wing.
wing first. How about that?
Quite right.
Yeah? Come on. Right. Come on in. Yes? All good?
Yeah.
Right, let's start in here with your bit, Leslie. This is currently set up as a sitting room.
Yeah, oh, yeah. This would be something else,
yes.
wouldn't it?
Well, on the spec, this is down as a bedroom because it has an ensuite shower room through there.
Yeah.
They've got it set up as a sort of library, music room, reading room, whatever.
And it's got a lovely outlook.
Yeah, it's pretty, isn't it?
It is pretty, really pretty.
So how are we doing?
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Look, speechless.
I can't speak. I can't speak. You're going to make this very difficult for me, aren't you?
Are we?
Yeah, you are, because I can see that I'm going to fall in love with this one as well.
Once again, things appear to be hitting the right notes, and we've only seen the annex wing so far. This part of the property features 2 main rooms that can be used as extra bedrooms or living areas, and they're attached to the main 2-storey house via the farmhouse kitchen. OK, Susan, come on in.
Oh, it's huge.
Yes.
It's fabulous.
Isn't it just?
And you've given me a kitchen that's big enough to put a sofa in.
Yeah, we brought that in, especially.
You've given me everything I asked for. Look, Leslie, in a proper sink.
You've got a Belfast sink?
I know,
Or butler
that's
sink?
a wood surface.
Wood burner
And hooks.
Yes, and a wood burner
over there.
in the same room.
Now, is there a window seat hiding anywhere around here?
We didn't have time to fit one of those. The other nice thing about this is that you've got a gas-topped range there, but if you wanted to drop a more traditional cast iron range in there, you could do so very, very easily.
Oh, but that's lovely.
Now it goes on. There's a study next door, coming through here, and your living room. The study is there, which is really nice, actually.
Oh, that is lovely, yes.
And then in here we've got your living room. Come on in.
And this is lovely too.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
That's what you said, isn't it?
Yes.
You didn't want a huge
No,
sitting room, you wanted
no.
the space in the kitchen.
That's right.
It's cosy.
So it's another really good choice. Yes, it is really cosy, but it's
Yeah.
a fine room as well.
It's very elegant, isn't it?
Yeah.
The way it's dressed and presented. So, if the upstairs is as good as the downstairs, we're laughing, aren't we?
We are.
We are indeed.
Let's keep laughing. Come on. Along with the bedroom potential we've already seen in the annex wing, this house also has a further 3 bedrooms up on the first floor. So Leslie would be spoilt for choice, as she can take her pick from a bright double room with dual aspect windows or a cosy double guest bedroom with a built-in cupboard. But it's Susan who's buying, so let's see what she makes of the family bathroom that's right next to the master bedroom. There we are. There's the family bathroom. Come and have a look, Leslie. Quick.
It's a bathroom.
I can dance in there.
Come on.
I'm choking up.
Well, having shown you the rest of the upstairs, it's all got a bit emotional, hasn't it?
It has indeed.
You're a bit excited by the bathroom. And here we are in what would be, I think, your master bedroom.
No, I'm having the double aspect one.
Oh, you're having the other one. You're going to have the guest room.
You're going to have the guest room.
Oh, no, this is lovely as well.
Yeah.
You've just found such a wonderful house. I am going to cry.
It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to...
I pull such funny faces when I cry.
I think it's a hit.
I think it is a hit, Leslie,
Yeah.
yes. Let's go downstairs, we'll gather our breath, and we'll talk about the money. Before emotions get the better of Susan, we're going to head back down to the ground floor, as we've still got the garden to take in. Now, garden-wise, this is it, obviously. But of course you do get the view of the green, and you also get the double garages, which are next door. And the whole lot, of course, is overlooked by what could be your new beautiful home.
I love it.
I know you do. I think we all know that.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
so, yes.
Well, let's take the pressure off you then. Let's ask Leslie to go first on your price guess.
I think it might be a little over budget at 335.
335, yeah, that would be nice. Susan?
I'm going even higher.
Yeah.
340.
340. Yes.
Oh, it's not. It's 350, isn't it?
No, it's 330.
You are joking. You are joking.
Bang on.
You're not lying to me.
I'm
You're
not,
lying
no,
to me
I'm
this
not.
time.
I'm really not. No, come on, take it all in. This could be yours for your budget of £330,000.
Oh. You're coming... I'm doing it again.
Go on, in you go.
This is fabulous.
Have a good old sob. Enjoy it, and I'll catch up with you later.
And I like the other one too.
You can only buy one. Right on the money at £330,000, the second property is an immaculately presented 19th century Victorian cottage that's bursting with character. It comes with Susan's much coveted farmhouse kitchen and 2 separate reception rooms down on the ground floor. Upstairs there are 3 bedrooms, but the icing on the cake must be the attached self-contained 1-bedroomed annex.
Just perfect in every way. I love it. Absolutely love it. There's no more to say. You saw me cry? That says it all.
What I was afraid would happen has happened, and Susan has fallen in love with the house without even thinking about any of the other practicalities. The house is all, and so we'll have to have a little chat later about the other aspects, I think.
After you.
Thank you.
Well, to say that went well would be...
An understatement.
I would say so. And I think that's a great way to end our first day. How about it?
Yes.
Yeah? Lots of stuff going around in your mind, isn't there?
Yes.
But it is beginning to get dark, so I suggest we go home and have something to eat.
Good idea.
And maybe a drink. How about
Yeah,
that?
it's a good idea.
Splendid idea.
It's the second day of our property search, and our buyer Susan has £330,000 to spend on her move away from London into the wonderful Nottinghamshire countryside. Still to come, we have the mystery house to unveil, where things are heating up.
Can I go over and warm my hands?
By all means. And I'll be roped into Nottinghamshire's hard graft of yesteryear. You've managed to get some proper old tarred rape, haven't you? Well, when it comes to a perfect day's house hunting, yesterday was textbook. Property number 1 thrilled Leslie and Susan, and just when we thought it couldn't get any better, well, property number 2 reduced Susan in parts to tears. So the question is, at the start of this beautiful blue, crisp final day here in Nottinghamshire, can we better that? Well, we have one more to come. It is, of course, mystery house time, and that means that absolutely anything could happen. Well, yesterday got a little bit emotional, didn't it, Susan?
It certainly did.
And you've been clearly thinking about those 2 properties overnight.
I've thought of little else.
Well, we've clearly got 2 very good contenders on our list already, which I'm really pleased about. But of course, it's not over just yet. One more to come. It's our mystery house. That's got a lot to do, I suspect, to wind its way into your affections?
It has to blow the other two out of the water.
Well, let's see if it does. The final house on Susan's property quest is up in the north of the county, in the village of North Leverton. For 200 years, a windmill has been the iconic landmark standing proudly in North Leverton, and it's still milling flour and animal feed today. The village has a few facilities, including a pub, and you don't have to look too hard to find fields with grazing livestock. The buzzword to describe Susan's move is upsizing. So after 2 cottages, the Mystery House offers up a serious amount of living space, over 2,500 square feet. So this is it?
Not the whole house, surely.
The whole house, the whole Mystery House, yeah. What do you think?
Really?
Yeah, the
The
whole
whole
lot.
thing?
Yep. It's the Mystery House because it is undoubtedly the biggest house that we've been able to offer you.
Yes.
Up to now, everything we've shown you has had 3 bedrooms.
Yes.
This one has 6. And 3 of them are in that bit over there to the right.
Oh, right.
Which is a separate kind of annex, if you will.
Wow.
Come and have a look inside. With a history that dates way back to 1790, not only is this Georgian Grade 2 listed home massive, but it also has project potential. Susan wants to explore new opportunities in her retirement, but will she be up for the challenge? Come on in. There we are. Right. Well, let's start in here, which I'm going to call a drawing room, actually, as opposed to a living room. I think it's got that sort of feel to it.
It's lovely.
Isn't it?
It is. And it's not too big either, is it?
No, it's got a lovely Georgian feel to it, and that is the date of the bulk of this building, more or less, late 1700s probably. Let's go through to the dining room, which is across the hallway. How about you and all the girls having a good old gossip and a natter and a bite to eat? Let's deal with the kitchen. Come through here. Right, well, in terms of kitchen space, this is what is on offer, girls. Not as square as we've had.
No.
Certainly lots of space.
Yeah.
And the cooker.
It does come with the cooker.
Can I go over and warm my hands?
By all means. Despite the heat from the range cooker, it's clear that Susan isn't warming to this property. But we'll continue upwards and hopefully onwards. Upstairs, the family bathroom serves a total of 3 bedrooms within the main house, a single room with built-in storage, as well as a lovely and light dual-aspect double. And that just leaves the master bedroom. And then finally, in this bit of the house, is this one.
Oh, another double aspect.
It is.
Yeah.
Another light room with
Yeah.
windows on 2 aspects.
That is nice.
It's growing on you, that's good.
It certainly is.
After the lukewarm response on the ground floor, Susan and Leslie are seeing the positives of the sleeping areas. So I'm keeping hopeful and showing them what's on offer in the additional wing. So here we are, kind of 2 for the price of 1, really. Now there's a really nice little kitchen area there with a dining table in it. And then this is the living room for this part of the house. In terms of sort of being self-contained, and you having your own kind of crash flat.
Well, 2-bedroom house.
Well, yeah, let's not forget, we've got 3 really good double bedrooms
Yes.
above here, which you can have a look at a little bit later on. And
Amazing.
a proper family bathroom to go with it.
Absolutely. It's a nice little space, this, as well.
The annex rooms add an extra boost to the property's appeal, but will the same be said for the price? I love this bit of the show. The price guess. Yes. Now, in terms of property, as you can see, there is a lot of it, plus all the bedrooms and all the other rooms that go with it. So who is going to go first on our last price guess of the week? I think, Susan, it should be you.
310?
£310,000. That's pretty optimistic. Leslie?
I think I was going to go lower than that, so I'll have to stick with my 305.
Well, I'm afraid you're both wrong. But the good news is that you can afford this. It is a remarkable, I think, £325,000. You might be far off, I mean,
far
you know, but you can still do it.
I can still do it, yes.
Right then. Well, we have sort of touched the surface on some of it. I want you to have another look upstairs and get an idea of what the 3 bedrooms here offer you. And I'll catch up with you a little bit later. Off you go, ladies. Just under budget at £325,000, the mystery property is a listed Georgian home of 2 halves. The main house features 2 reception rooms, a large kitchen breakfast room and 3 bedrooms. but there are also a further 3 bedrooms in the attached 2-storey annex.
Well,
Wow. That's a lot of bedrooms.
it certainly is.
And
They're
I
good
haven't got that
size.
many beds, have I? No.
No.
Huge and scary. I wasn't that enthusiastic to start with, but having looked at it, it's gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. But it's a project, and it's a project for somebody that's 20 years younger than me.
Well, who'd have thought it? Our house tours are now all over. 3 really interesting properties, not least, of course, the mystery house behind us. What's going on in that mind of yours?
A lot.
A lot. Thought there might be. Let's get you somewhere for a nice cup of tea and a bite to eat, and you two can mull it over, and then we'll find out what the future holds. After you,
Okay.
Susan.
Thank
Go
you.
on. It's your search. Well, that may be the end of Susan's property tour in Nottinghamshire, but there's a myriad of options on the market here to suit all budgets and all styles. For those with deep pockets, this 4-bedroom period house in Watton in the Vale comes with an asking price of £1 million. The impressive accommodation features a bespoke country-style kitchen breakfast room and a garden room looking over the grounds that total more than 25 acres. For half that money, but equal appeal, £499,000 could buy you this spacious and characterful 4-bedroom family home in Calverton. It comes with 2 reception rooms and a farmhouse kitchen diner. Despite the alluring natural beauty of rural Nottinghamshire, it was here in the market town of Southwell that the Victorians were drawn for more desperate measures. Built in 1824, the Grade II listed Southwell workhouse became the model for a new generation of 600 Victorian workhouses created across the country. Now in the hands of the National Trust, it's the most complete workhouse in existence. And I went there to meet volunteer Samantha Ball to find out more about last resort life here. This is a place that not many people would have really wanted to come, of course.
No.
What's the story behind it? When did it start and who was behind it?
The workhouse was built by Reverend John T. Beecher. He was a local clergyman in Southwell, and he had a strong interest in socioeconomics. He wanted to improve or change the way that relief was given to the poor and needy in society.
Because the workhouses were funded by the local town or parish, weren't they?
Yes. And because of the success of this workhouse here, it changed the way that the government gave money for the poor, and this workhouse actually became a prototype for the new poor law of 1834.
At the time, the workhouse was the only form of relief on offer to the destitute, and those who had no choice other than to stay here were separated from their family and children in different parts of the building. However, this strict segregated regime was intended to deter those who weren't truly needy. This idea of segregation, I suppose, is probably more evident here than at the front, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And it really does follow Beecher's strong principles of segregation. When you come here, families were separated, and the able-bodied are separated from the old and infirm.
I mean, for all the hardship of coming to a building like this and undertaking all the tasks that were given to you, it seems to me, and I think probably to many people, that the segregation really was the cruelest act of all.
It certainly was from children. Mothers were allowed to stay with their babies until they were 2 years old, particularly if they were nursing. But from then, they were separated, and they could only see each other. Families were only reunited if they all behaved themselves and followed the rules. They could meet on a Sunday afternoon.
The workhouse provided food and shelter for those at the most dire periods of their lives, and children were given an education. But in return, at least 10 hours a day of monotonous manual labour was required from the adults. Right, Samantha, what have we got here then? What are we looking at?
We are looking at oakum. And oakum was tarred ropes from old ships. And what the paupers were asked to do was to unravel these ropes. The unravelled bits of the rope were then sold on either back to the shipmakers or to make paper. Effectively, you were given money for old rope.
I love it when one gets to the bottom of those sorts of sayings. Regardless of the tough and hostile conditions, workhouses like this at Southwell paved the way for future social reform. I'm delighted that it's still here, but in many respects, I'm also delighted that it's no longer a workhouse, because for anybody to have to come in here and live under those conditions, well, we don't know we're born, do we?
We don't, indeed.
Well, a little while ago, I left Leslie and Susan together to try and make sense of all that we had been able to show them. It is a big decision, and I think for Susan, it's going to be a particularly emotional one. So have they come to some sort of solution? What is Susan's plan for the future? Well, as ever, there's only one way to find out. Let's go and ask her. Well, girls,
Well, Jules,
we've got a lot to talk about, haven't we, I think?
we have.
So how are we feeling?
Confused.
OK, well, let's just deal with the odd one out then. Property number 3, our mystery house. Obviously the biggest of the lot, but I get the feeling, Leslie, that that one has probably now been discounted for very practical reasons.
Well, it has. It's perhaps a great opportunity, but I think not one that you're really looking for, is it?
No.
That's OK, but it does leave us with 2 very exciting properties. And yesterday when we saw them, it was an exciting day, wasn't it? So, property number 1.
Property number 1 was gorgeous. Could just pop my furniture in a van, move up and move in, and it would be absolutely beautiful. Little garden, beautiful community, lovely village. It was lovely.
Is there a but?
There's a little but there. It had a lovely kitchen and lovely bathrooms, but it didn't quite have what I had in my mind when I came up here.
So what was in your mind?
The kitchen in house number 2.
Yes.
The kitchen in house number 2 filled that bill perfectly.
As did the bathroom.
As did the bathroom, the wonderful, wonderful bathroom.
Yeah. So I don't see why this is such a dilemma.
The reality of it is, if you get a kitchen and a bathroom that size, you also get a house that size.
Yeah.
And in Susan's own words, you still have to live there when everyone has gone home.
OK, let's cut to the chase then. If I could give you the keys to any one of our 3 properties, which one would you take?
Number 1.
Yes.
So what happens next?
Another look.
So here's to you. It's been a real pleasure. Congratulations. Let us know how you get on. Hopefully, it'll be because you bought it.
Yes.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Jules.
Moving to a completely new area, in a different environment and choosing the right home has no doubt been quite an overwhelming task for Susan to undertake on her own. But she's been helped fantastically by her old buddy Leslie. And that just goes to prove that when it comes to successful house hunting, sometimes we all need a little help from our friends. Well, I'm delighted to report that after a second viewing, Susan made an offer on property 1 that was accepted, and we wish her all the best for her retirement in the Nottinghamshire countryside. If you want to escape to the country in Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland or England and would like our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.